Welcome to the TV. Here with me today is Jessica Passage, the Customer Service Success Manager from Design Everest. Thank you so much for putting aside some time for us, Jessica. And we would love to hear your insight about customer success. But before we get to that, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I've been with Design Everest for almost a couple years now. I do a little bits of pieces of sales as the bulk of what I do. I also do some project management and then kind of help the better whole of the company work on improvements. So that's what I do. My background prior to coming into this career was being a homeowner who built a new custom house, did additions to it, bought another house, did additions and remodels to that as well. And that kind of got my piqued my interest into the industry. So I come from a consumer perspective. And then I bring that into my job as well and share that with people.
It sounds like a lot of your success is coming from the experience you had because you understand the customer, and Design Everest has been really successful in terms of customer services. Tell us a little bit about your success, your tips, anything you can share with the audience.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of my success comes from the consumer perspective. I rather talk to you about, how the process really works rather than try to push and sell something on you. I think it's really important to understand what it's going to take and how long the process is going to be and what you're going to need in order to be successful throughout the process and create realistic expectations, so that you're prepared to take this the project on, which then builds trust. And the foundation of any sale or any personal relationship with someone that you're project managing is trust, and being able to feel like they have a better understanding and know that you're going to guide them to success, rather than being worried if the project's going to be done in a timely manner or being done at a quality level.
Let's talk about ADU for a little, because it took a kind of momentum in California, especially since January 2020. What's happening?
So as of January 1st, the state of California updated the code requirements to allow people to have an easier way of being able to complete and add ADUs or junior ADUs onto their property. In the past, the permit fees were super expensive. It could take 3, 6, 7+ months to even get a permit for your ADU to start construction. There was a lot, just overall, I guess you'd say a lot more red tape. That's now all been removed. So if you're going to jump on the bandwagon for ADUs, now's the time, because who knows, in the near future when that could change. So, your biggest things are, your permit fees are going to be cheaper. Cities have to approve your plans within a 60-day period. You're able to have not only just an ADU, but some places and cities also allow you to have a junior ADU as well. And then parking restrictions have become a little bit more lax as well. So those would be some of the biggest things with the guidelines that have now really kind of given everyone an angle to jump in on these ADU projects.
Do you think this actually can help overcoming the crisis in housing that California is facing at the moment?
I definitely think it will. I mean, some things have to change, and with the housing shortage prior to January 1st of this year, everything was really hard to get done through the city. People didn't want to do it. It wasn't something that was exciting or something they felt they could even attain. And now with the new code changes, it allows people to feel like they can actually be able to afford this, because affordability has always been, I think, a big cause of reasons why people haven't added additional housing. And so if we can make that more affordable, which the cities and counties are trying to do, then people will start building these and then renting them out. And then, we should be able to solve a lot of those issues. It's just a big thing now with it being new, is just making sure people understand and know that this is now a better opportunity for them than ever before.
I just wanted to land there exactly that. Do you think there's enough information out there for people? People are educated enough to understand this opportunity and get on board?
I don't think everyone's very well educated in what's been changed within the city requirements. A lot of people that I talk to day in and day out that are potential customers, they don't know about the new code changes. They're just calling because they're interested in, hey, I want to build this to rent, or I want to build this for my in-laws, or whatnot. And I start talking about, well, hey, did you know, like, with the new year that these code changes have occurred? And they have no idea. So I think right now there needs to be a huge focus on the education of what changes have been made, and then the education on how the process works to an end result of an ADU. So I think with Design Everest, we have that presence and ability through our conversation here, through our website, through our forums, our articles that we post, just calling in and discussing it, we can help change that.
Interesting. We talked about ADU for a bit, but because we are recording this at a time that is quite turmoil and uncertain, I would like to touch back on customer services and the time of uncertainty. It must be really difficult for customers to understand what's happening, and then for a company to give a good customer service. Do you have any tips on that?
Yeah, so I mean, it really is kind of a hard time. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, life was normal here at the company, and it's not now. And so it's an abrupt change for our society and where we're at. And it is definitely impacting, the people that I talk to every day, the market's validity and things like that. People are not wanting to spend money, which is then having an effect on what we do. And so the biggest thing that we try to do, at least for me, from a consumer standpoint, is just encouraging people that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Providing, it's good to invest in your plans now, because you can work through those, and then, you're at home, you're not doing much, you might as well take advantage of really involving yourself in a project that you can, soon to submit to the city. And then, when you're ready, work through construction, where the bulk of your pricing or price is going to be spent, is at that phase. So you could still be 6 to 12 months out to starting a project, where the majority of your expense will be. So you can invest now at a smaller cost to get your design and engineering plans done, and feel like you're involved more often now, so that you can, take that time later. I also think it's just letting people know that, they have, it's just time to invest, and that, if you're going to do it, now's the time.
Thank you so much. It's been really interesting and useful conversation, Jessica. Jessica Passage, Customer Success Manager from Design Everest. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.